I'm tired. You asking them about 4 games in 8 days and a cross-country trip, I'm exhausted. I can imagine how they feel, but I'm very proud of the way that they responded tonight, after a loss like we had against UCLA. It wasn't just the points, it was the way we lost. And I wondered how these kids were how they were going to respond. And I thought they did a fantastic job. They came out, they swung early, and we were able to get a nice flow going, fed off the crowd. And Jazz played tremendously. I thought Muff played with some heart. But one of the things I told the kids I was most proud of, like Kayla Cooper-Williams. And it wasn't even about her stat line. It was about the fact that she played really tough tonight, in which she didn't do at all on Friday night. And I think she learned a very valuable lesson. And we talked about learning a lesson from that UCLA game, and it wasn't about panicking. We weren't going to panic. We just needed to fix some things. I thought they came out tonight and they fixed them. They played extremely well. We didn't. It wasn't always pretty, but that's the way that Liberty makes you play. They're going to slow the game down. They're going to be very slow, methodical, pound, pound, pound. It was almost like a heavyweight fight, and we were in round 9 of 15 in that third quarter, and we lost a little bit of our luster. But it was because they lean on you for such a long time that you're going to be fatigued. And I think our post players were fatigued, but I thought they battled back and they played extremely well. Jazz was Jazz tonight, and I don't mean to take this away from her, but that's what I expect her to do. Maybe she won't get 33 points every night, but to be that aggressive. And I thought she was extremely aggressive tonight, and good things happened for us. So very good win. Carrie does a great job at Liberty. That's going to be a good win for us. They're going to win a lot of basketball games, but it was a very good win for us, to protect the state. And they're one of the best teams in the state, and we were able to come away with a really good win.
It seemed like Liberty was actually even making that late run until Ashley's 3. How big was it to get the performance outside, especially from a player like Ashley?
Ashley is adapting to her role. When Muff breaks pressure, she's looking for Ashley. When a lot of times last year she would look for Precious. So Ashley has to adapt in that role, and I know Ashley can score, and I don't even know how many points she scored tonight. I know she's going to make big shots, okay? But Ashley, is where she needs improvement, and she's continuing to work on that, is on the defensive end. And she understands that, and she's one of our super seniors, and we need those kids to play well on both ends of the floor. So but it's good to have a kid like that to stretch the floor. Haley Barron was a little bit off tonight. She wasn't able to connect on a 3, but just having her presence there was really good. And I thought we did a good job. We kind of backed into it. I don't think we really played well down the stretch, but we played well enough to win. And I know these kids are exhausted right now. It's 4 games in 8 days, and as I mentioned, a cross-country trip in there. They're probably going to sleep. They're probably going to have to set their alarms tomorrow for a noon lunch, because they're going to be so tired.
Haley did have that pretty buzzer beater at the end of the half.
She did.
With regards to Jasmine, 33 points. She's obviously clicking where you want her offensively in terms of points-wise. Is this the kind of performance you were expecting of her when years ago when you first recruited her?
Well, I didn't know when I recruited her that she would be that good or had the capabilities of being that good. But when I do all of her workouts, so it's just me and her, and we're down there on the floor, and we're doing things. I'm emulating, Dirk Nowitzki, and throwing a little bit of Kevin Durant in there, and doing a lot of different things with her. And to my amazement, very early on, she's a sponge. Whatever I'm showing her, she can imitate it. And when I watch it, it looks just like what Dirk Nowitzki does, in the post. And with her size, she's a nightmare, because I think she mentioned it that if you put a big post player on her, she faces you up and she rips it around. Now she's going to shoot a layup. But if you put a guard on her, we worked on a lot of her post moves, and we knew we were going to be thin in the post this year as far as point production with Lady and Toya. Their absence, but we were going to make up for that with Gwathmey. And her little 6-foot jumper is just as good as a lot of people's 2-foot layup, contested layup. So that's where we were going to get our points. She did a really good job tonight, being super aggressive. She had the 3 going. I think she shot perfect from the free throw line, if I'm not mistaken. And that's an area, 10 for 10. And that's an area that we needed her to get to. I have a super fan. Mr. Forbes, he's one of our biggest fans, and he always tells me we need to practice free throw shooting. And I just very politely tell him, we just need to get the right people going to the free throw line. And tonight we did. Jazz went 10 times and made all 10. And Muff was 4 for 6, but we had the right people going to the free throw line. But we need those free throws.
One last one for me. I think Muff was talking about, how do you take the success from tonight, where everyone was playing their roles very efficiently, and translate it into getting that on the road, which is your next game on Sunday?
It's kind of funny because, again, we don't want to hit the panic button. I can't say that that's the team that we are when we go on the road. It was only one game. You happen to be playing one of the best teams in the country. That team lost to South Carolina by 3 points. So they're going to beat a lot of people, in that arena. We had a couple hiccups, on the road, with things off the court. And nothing big, but, are you wearing the right, clothing? Are you early to moments? And I think the kids learn, and it's going to be a lot of lessons learned this year, especially early, because we're playing so many young kids. That was the first road trip for a lot of those kids. This is going to be the second one, and now they're going to learn, a lot. And so it's fun. It's what we do. It's very exhausting because you feel like you're doing it over and over again every year. It's like Groundhog Day, but you have to do it because you have new freshmen every year, and you have to tell them what's expected. And it's going to be fun. But we're going to relax right now. We're going to have some turkey on Thursday, and then we'll get back at it on Friday. But these kids deserve a break because they really played to come away from this 3-1, and with the wins the way that we won them. It's really impressive, and I think that we can build on this.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.